All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Kaz here, joined by my friend and business partner, Sean Casey. We have another Wednesday marketing webinar for you today. And this one will be on how to rank videos and get basically traffic and results from those at the same time. So not only tips and stuff on how to rank them, but also additional tips on how to actually get results from basically videos that you get ranked, because both are equally as important there. This was one of the topics that we've had a handful of you basically ask us to cover, and we've basically talked about bits and pieces of it in the past in some of our SEO calls and stuff, but we were asked if we could do basically training specifically on just that. So we'll basically talk about several things there, including I'll show some kind of cool tricks, not just to get ranked there, but tips and stuff on how to get additional traffic, including one trick that I think is really awesome, which is kind of like a little bit of like a little hack almost to get lots of additional traffic and to essentially piggyback off of others out there. And as always, we'll have plenty of time for Q&A. So if you have any questions or anything like that, again, feel free to ask, and we'll have some time at the end. Even if your question's outside of videos, that's perfectly fine. Anything and everything is all good there. So without further ado, we'll get the show on the road again on how to rank videos and get traffic and results. And once again, we have these free calls every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is right about now. So make sure that you mark that on your calendar. We'll have a live training and or a Q&A type call. And if you're here or you're registered for this series, you'll get a reminder each week so you don't forget. But if you can't make one, we'll have the recordings in the members area, usually within about a day or so of any of the calls under the training tab on the left side navigation bar. So you click on training, and then you click on the Wednesday calls, and you'll see them all right there with the most recent one at the very top. So again, this one you should see there either by the end of the day or by tomorrow, usually at the latest. And if you want a chance to win $100 today, you can make sure to join our free Facebook group, which you can get to by going to getwebfire.com/FB group. Again, that's getwebfire.com/FB group. All you have to do is click join if you're not a member there. Again, it's free. Sharon usually approves you within like a minute or two if you do it on this call right now. And at the very end of the call, we'll give you instructions on what to do to get a chance to win $100 live, where we'll actually do the drawing live and give the money out right on the spot right there. So more on that later. So now let's move on to our training for this week, all about videos. So for the overview that we'll have, first we'll basically talk about how to rank videos that get traffic and results, as well as how to get additional traffic and even better results and make more off them. Then I have a couple things I'll show off live, including a very cool trick. It's one of those things that's easier to show than to explain. So I'll be doing that live, and any of you can easily do this for any video that you have. So it's a cool trick that takes maybe an extra 2 minutes to basically do, but can be really cool. Then we'll have our Q&A if you have any questions left. So first, how to rank videos. Now, you can basically apply this to any kind of video out there. I don't care what kind, but specifically for this call here, there's a couple main kinds of videos that I'll be basically using and talking about here in terms of how to get additional traffic and make money and stuff off of. And the two kinds that I really like are videos basically answering questions, as in like you try to rank for basically questions that people are asking, and you try to provide a solution to them right there. Now, it doesn't have to be a question, but you're trying to basically provide tidbits of information where you're solving a person's problem or solving, something that they're looking for. For instance, a perfect example of this, if someone's trying to improve a golf swing, you could rank a video for, 5 easy ways to improve your golf swing, or, 2 easy tricks to hit a longer drive, or anything like that. Though that would be the kind of video I'm talking about. Or if you're looking to buy a moped, it could even be, what is the difference between a 50cc and a 150cc moped engine. All those would basically classify as you trying to answer a simple question to help a person out. The second kind are like video reviews, where you're basically reviewing products and such in hopes that they'll either buy through your affiliate link or check out your product or whatever it might be right there. So I'll be kind of referencing back those two different kinds right there, because I find they're really easy to basically do, and they're probably one of the easiest ways to get a lot of traffic and also turn the traffic into money at the same time. So in both cases, you'll want to do your keyword research in a similar manner to what we suggest for websites. So if you've seen some of our prior calls where we basically covered SEO and stuff, you'll find that to rank a video isn't that much different than ranking a website. They're very comparable. But in this case, you'll want to search YouTube for preferred keywords and see how many exact matches there are, followed by close matches. And you don't want more than a couple exact matches to have the best chances of ranking. Now, what I mean by an exact match is, if the keyword that you want to rank for, let's say, is how to improve your forehand in tennis, okay, or your tennis forehand. If the keyword you're trying to rank for is how to improve your tennis forehand, if that's your exact keyword that you want to rank for, if you do that search in YouTube, you want to see how many of the videos on page 1 contain that exact phrase in their title. Now, typically you'll see a bunch of videos that might have similar titles, but not quite, a perfect match. So you wouldn't count those. They have to be an exact match to what you're trying to rank for. If there's, only a couple or less or none, that's a great chance that you have of ranking for that keyword. Now, you also want to look at how many close matches that there are, because that will give you kind of an idea of how much additional traffic you could also get. For instance, if there's like, let's say on the 10 videos on, let's say, a tennis forehand, let's say maybe only one has the keyword how to hit a better tennis forehand, that's a good sign. But let's say of the rest of the 10 or so, if a few of them are like, how to improve your tennis forehand, or 2 ways to hit a better tennis forehand and stuff like that, those are close matches, where a lot of the words in your keyword phrase are in the video, but they're just not an exact match. And that's not bad to have a few of those. If the entire page 1 is basically like that, that means that you might have a good chance of ranking for your keyword, but there might not be as many opportunities to rank for additional keywords for that same phrase. But if you find that, let's say on the 10 videos, let's say 1's an exact match, and let's say 3 are close matches, but the rest of them, like let's say 6, are like how to hit a forehand like Roger Federer, or how to improve your serve, which doesn't have anything to do with basically the forehand and stuff like that. Then you'll see that, okay, geez, well, it looks like not a lot of videos on the top 10 are basically answering the exact question or the exact search, which means you have an even greater chance of not only ranking for your exact phrase, but ranking for several additional phrases and such too, related to that right there. And I'll show a live example of that just to make it kind of make a bit more sense to you right there. But you want to look at at essentially both of those, but the most important one is the exact matches. If there's more than a couple exact matches, you'll have a harder time ranking for that term right there. But then once you find a couple good ones, you want to target the keywords in your title and your description, especially in the title. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have like only the exact phrase in the title. You can have additional words and stuff. In fact, that's oftentimes good, especially if you make the title appealing and stuff, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. But you want to make sure that the phrase you're trying to rank for itself at least shows up in the title. Now, you can also go the extra mile and leave comments linking to it or do a blog post on it too. So that can kind of improve your chances of getting ranked, and also you know, helping drive additional essentially traffic and stuff there, but also getting noticed by Google and YouTube at the same time. And if you do a blog post on it, it's kind of like a double whammy. So you have a chance to possibly rank as a blog post and a chance to also rank as a YouTube clip, both on YouTube and on Google at the same time, because a YouTube video can also rank on Google at the same time. Now you can also use the Video Firestorm tool inside of Webfire to help you with this if you want as well. And towards the end, I'll do like a brief walkthrough of that and a few other things just to kind of show off, you know, what I'm basically talking about right there. But you can easily enter, you know, the description and the title. You can even make a video in there, and I'll show some extra tips and stuff in a bit that you can do there. Now, as far as how to get additional traffic to the videos, there's several things that you can do. Now, you'll want to make sure that you not only target keywords that you have a chance of ranking for on YouTube, but you should also see what your chances of ranking on Google are. So what you can do here is you can do a similar search for the main keyword, but do it on Google and see how many results show up there too. If there's 2 or less exact matches on page 1, that means you'll have a very, very, very awesome chance of ranking on page 1 for that term right there. So then you can rank on Google as well as YouTube at the same time with the same video without having to do really any additional work right there. You also want to make sure that your keyword appears to get traffic, okay? So you don't necessarily want to rank for a keyword that's super easy to rank for, but no one's searching for. Because, you know, that's great to get ranked. You might get some traffic, but you want to get some kind of word that people are actually searching for. So here's some tricks to check. First, you can use the keyword tool inside of Webfire to get like an idea of how many searches on Google there might be, which can translate to, you know, at least somewhat kind of give you a general idea of what it might look like otherwise on YouTube. The other thing that you can do is both on YouTube itself as well as on Google, you can use the predictive keyword search. So you can start to type in a keyword on YouTube or Google, and you'll see that it will oftentimes do almost like an autofill with several suggestions. So you can kind of get an idea of what people are searching for and what other search terms there might be. So like, you know, if you do a search for like, let's say, you know, tennis forehand or how to improve or, you know, anything like that, you'll see it basically show up with a lot of suggested keywords searches and stuff where you can get an idea of what people are searching for, and you can kind of then search for all those predicted ones and see how competitive those are and such there too. Another thing that you can do is just basically check other videos and their view count. So if you search for like a certain topic or a certain keyword, just do some research and see which ones are getting a lot of searches. And if there's, you know, certain keywords that you think are awesome, but the top ranked ones have like only a few hundred searches and they've been there for, you know, a long time, and that's maybe a sign that, you know, it's not really the best keywords out there. Whereas if you've seen some that are maybe only a few months old and have like, you know, tens of thousands of views, or in some cases hundreds of thousands to millions of views, that's probably a good sign that there's a lot of traffic there and a lot of searches. So I always like to kind of do that. And again, don't overthink this. Like, you don't have to do like, man, I have to do the keyword first, and I have to search this, and I have to search that. You know, you're overthinking it. And, you know, any one of those by themselves will give you a general idea of what you can do. In fact, one of my favorite ones is just to see what other videos are out there and see what their view count is. So I'd start with that right there. Now, keywords that are questions where you basically answer a specific problem can be a great way to find potential prospects that would be interested in your topic. Likewise, keywords that are more likely to be from potential buyers can be a great way to focus your time on what brings in money. So there might be tons and tons and tons of questions out there, you know, in your niche, but you might find that, you know, maybe only a handful of those are likely to be from potential buyers. A few examples might be like, you know, review type terms or questions that people search for before buying. So a few examples of that are, if someone's looking to buy a moped, they might do a search for, like, you know, moped name, like the name of a certain model, followed by review, or is it good, or, you know, anything like that. Likewise, a question that they might have, which might be indicating that they're a possible buyer, would be like, you know, again, difference between a 50cc and 150cc engine, where, you know, they're probably looking to buy a moped, but they don't know what engine they should have. Or another question would be, you know, are 150cc engines legal on the road, or, you know, terms like that. It's basically a question where someone most likely, not necessarily, but most likely are looking into buying a moped and just have a handful of questions that they're looking for answers on. Now, you want to, and we'll talk in just a little bit about how after you answer a question, there's tricks that you can do to make sure that you monetize that more, or to make sure that you turn that into an actual sale, rather than just being nice and helping a person with no actual benefit back. You also want to make sure that your titles are catchy and not just SEO friendly. So, you know, if you have, let's say, a review, okay, and you are reviewing a TV, okay, so you have an affiliate link where you're making a little dough on a TV, instead of having a title like, you know, review of, you know, Samsung 8000 series, or whatever the name might be, that might be a good keyword in terms of from like an SEO point of view. But in terms of being like a catchy title, you know, it really just blends in with the rest of them. Whereas if you have a title like, you know, review of Samsung 8000 series TV dash, you know, the good and the bad, or dash, you know, updated review since having it for 3 months, or, you know, anything like that, it grabs a little more attention, grabs a little more interest, and makes you stand out. So if someone sees that you have an updated review, you know, their first thought is, wow, this is a guy that's had it longer. I want to find out what his thoughts are now. Maybe they've changed. Maybe he liked it at first, but he doesn't like it now. Or maybe he thought it was okay at first, but now he really loves it. So you stand out a lot more from the rest. Now, the additional phrases don't necessarily always help you from like an SEO point of view. In some case, I mean, they might, there might be additional words that you could possibly rank for, but you don't really care about that. You want to just make it essentially catchy, because you know, not only do you want to first get ranked on page 1, you want to make sure that people click through and view you. And if there's like, you know, 10 other videos that all have the exact same title of review of blah blah blah, again, none of them really sound appealing. People will click on the one that they think looks basically the coolest, or the top one. Whereas if you have a catchy title that kind of stands out more, they'll be more likely to click on you, even if you're not the #1 ranked video there. And this is entirely true even with websites and blog posts and all that stuff too. So the more catchy you make it, the better. And the more clicks you get, the more likely you are to get moved up in the rankings too at the same time. Or like, for instance, even with like a simple question like, what is the difference between a 50cc and 150cc engine in mopeds? You can have that and then have dash, you know, what I learned the hard way, or, you know, some kind of enticing bit where a person's like, well, gee, what happened here? Did they maybe go for a smaller engine? Did they maybe go for the bigger one? Did, you know, what are their thoughts? They're very, very curious. They want to click and find out. The other thing is too, on the video you make itself, make sure that the start is especially catchy and attention grabbing. I know this is like common sense to basically say this right here, but you'll find like 90% of cases or so out there, they don't do that. Like the start of the video will be very slow. It's not really, you know, catchy at all. There's no real reason to continue viewing it. And the last thing you want to do is to waste a person's time, especially if you have a video that's like more than like a minute long. You know, people have to basically judge, gee, do I want to sit here for 5 to 10 minutes and see if this answers the question I have? You know, oftentimes they'll just click and go to the next one. Whereas, you know, if you basically grab their attention and clearly lay out what you're about to tell them or what they're about to find out, or something really cool that looks neat, you know that you have their attention. They know that it's worth their time then. And the other thing I'll show you in just a bit live, and this is one that's a lot easier to basically show, is there's a trick that you can do on YouTube to siphon traffic from other videos that aren't even yours. And this is basically a trick where you can see what keywords other videos are trying to rank for. And there's a trick that you can do here to actually increase your chances of your video showing up as a suggested video at the end. So you probably watched a video on YouTube, and at the very end, it usually has like a list of suggested ones, and sometimes it like basically will autoplay the next one, but it'll have like some suggested ones. And there's a trick where you can actually show up as a suggested one, or I should say increase your chances of showing up there. So I'll share that off as well. So like if there's a video that, let's say, has millions of views, if every time someone watches that you have a decent chance of showing up as a suggested video, you can basically piggyback off of these videos, even if you're not technically ranked yourself for those terms right there. So this is one that's a lot easier to basically show than actually explain. So in just a bit, I'll do a live demo of that there as well. But that's a pretty cool one. But I'll come back to that after I get through this next part right here. Now, the last main part right here before I get to the live stuff is how to make more money from videos. First, you want to make sure that you have a good call to action at the end. And again, a lot of videos completely miss this. They have a video, it might look really cool, and then you don't know where to buy the actual software, ebook, tool, whatever it is that they're talking about. And what do you do at that point? You go to Google, you do another search. And that's really dumb, the person that makes basically video, because you just basically pre-sold them, but they're not necessarily buying from you at this point. So it's kind of like if you're a car dealership and you convinced a person to buy, let's say, a certain kind of car, but then you don't tell them where they can buy it from you just gave a sale to another person. So congratulations, you're an awesome salesman, but you just lost a sale. And that's what a lot of people tend to do. And you absolutely want to have a call to action at the end of the videos where you basically say, hey, if you're looking to get this right here, here's where you can get the best deal out there, or here's where you can get this, or click here to check out this, click here to grab this special deal now, or some kind of call to action right there, or at least have a link to where they can get it. I can't tell you the number of videos where they're showing off like a cool product, and I'm like, wow, that's really neat, I want that, and then they just assume that you somehow magically know where to buy it, or they assume that like you'll look at the name of their company and you'll search them in Google, and then you'll find, I mean, they're asking you to do a lot of work where instead of just having something there that you can either see or click on to buy right then. You also want to make it super obvious what you want them to do or where you want them to go. And this is like, I see like a lot of people that do reviews, especially when they do comparison reviews, they make the mistake of, they don't make it obvious what the person should do. Like they say, hey, here's my comparison of product A with product B. Here's some pros and cons here, here's some pros and cons there, and they leave it like that. And imagine if you walked up to me and you said, hey, I'm in your town, what's a good pizza place? You would probably want me to say something like one of these two. You'd want me to either say, oh, this place right here has really awesome pizza. Or you might want me to say, hey, this place here has really awesome pizza if you like thin crust, but this place here has really awesome pizza if you like thick crust. So even in the second one, you know, I gave you options, but I told you, you know, if you like this, you'll like this one more. Whereas if you like that, you'll like this other one more. So you know precisely where to go. But imagine if instead I said, well, here's a list of, you know, the 5, you know, places to eat, you know, pizza in town. Here's the pros and cons for each one. Here's some stuff I like. Here's some stuff I don't like, and just left it at that. You'd be like, okay, so which one should I eat? And you're kind of right back to square one because you don't know which one to get. You still have to think. You might go to the next person and ask them, or in this case, you might do like a Google search and see what you find out. But I didn't basically close that deal then. I didn't close that sale. And even if it was through like an affiliate link of mine, you know, I didn't tell you what to basically do. And people want to be told what to do or what they should get. The last thing they want is for you to basically, you know, have them be right back where they were at the start. So again, make it bluntly obvious what you want them to do, whether that's buy a certain product, whether that's, you know, to basically check out a website or go to like a webinar or whatever it is. Make sure it's crystal clear what you want them to do and crystal clear, you know, what they should click or what they should do from that point on. Now, if it's a review that you're doing, make sure that you follow a simple format of what it is, what the pros and cons are, a short summary, and what you think they should do with a call to action. So going back to like the TV example, you know, let's say it's the, you know, I mean, this is like a made up name, but let's say it's the Samsung Pro 8000 series. You could say, hey, here's what basically the TV is. Here's the offer where you just have like a few lines that basically talk about the TV. With like a little background. Then you can list the pros and cons, like these are the things I love about it, these are the things I don't like. Then a short summary where you basically say, you know, hey, despite it having a couple cons like this and this, you know, compared to similar models that are basically twice the price, this is the best bang for your buck that you'll find. It is great for watching videos. It's great for playing games. It's great for, you know, blah, blah. And it's a very good bargain. So again, you just kind of sum up the review that you gave, you know, only take maybe a few sentences or so tops. You don't have to do a long one, and then give a call to action, which is, so if you want to get the best deal on this right now, you can buy this on Amazon right here, and then you give a link right there. Or you can buy this on this site right here, and you give a link where, you know, you clearly have a call to action with an actual link where you're, you know, referring them out there, and you want them to really click that link. So I mean, I probably wouldn't even go as far as saying, you know, you can buy this on Amazon now. You know, instead I'd say, you know, even if they could buy on Amazon, instead I'd maybe use like an affiliate link and say, you know, click here to get the best deal that we found on this now. So you can click there, so you get tagged, you know, with the affiliate sale or essentially the credit. But you know, you want to make it crystal clear what you want them to do, you know, at that point, and crystal clear what they should click or where they should go. Now, if it's just a question that you're basically answering, make sure that you make it short and precise, as well as give them additional info with a link for where to find more, where to get the best deal, and so forth. So going back to the moped example, if someone says, what is the difference between a 50cc and 150cc engine? They don't want a scientific report on what all the differences are or exactly how it works, or, you know, yada yada. You know, basically it could be as easy as this, saying, hey, 150cc engine is a more powerful engine, and the benefits of it is, you know, you can go essentially faster and you can carry more than one person on a moped. So if you're only looking to go let's say 25 or 30 miles an hour, and you're only looking to have a single person, the 50cc is more than powerful enough for you. If you're looking to go faster, or if you weigh more than, I don't know, like 260 pounds, or if you're looking to have, you know, sometimes a passenger with you, you definitely would want the 150cc engine in that case. That's super short. That basically took me, what, like a minute to basically explain, but it clearly answers the question that the person has. The person that's searching for that, all they want to basically know is, you know, what is the difference? Because they've probably seen that, hey, there's a handful of mopeds that are probably more expensive, but have the larger engine, but they're wondering, hey, is that really needed? What does that do? What does that help with? And you just want to basically answer that in simple terms for them right there. And again, you don't want to make it super long because you don't want to waste their time. They're looking for a short and easy answer. But then at the end of that, you can say, so, you know, hey, if you're just looking to go, you know, less than X amount of miles an hour, and you know you weigh less than this, you know a 50cc engine's fine, and here's a link to some really awesome deals on my top choice there. Whereas if you're looking to go faster or have, you know, additional passengers, or if you weigh a lot more, here's the here's the one that I like the most, that I think has the best deal out there, and then you give, like, you know, a link or some info for them to click right there to check out that. So you're answering a question, but you're also kind of pushing them a bit more towards like a possible sale at the same time right there. Now, another tip is, you know, links mentioned in the video, in the description, or the comments can also help. You can never have like enough of those. So just in case someone misses it, you know, in the video, it's always good to have it, like, you know, mentioned not only in the video, but maybe in the description too. So the more chances they have of seeing it, the more likely they are to click through and go to where you want them to basically go. And, you know, on that note too, don't drag it out with like a lot of boring stuff off point, especially if you're looking to make money from a hot prospect, okay? Because people, you know, don't want to spend a ton of time researching and going through all this stuff. They want easy answers to easy questions that they oftentimes have, and then they just want to basically be told, you know, where they can get the best deal, where they can find this, or where that they can find that. So don't basically drag it on and basically take like 15 minutes to answer a single question, because what you'll find too is, let's say, you know, if I'm searching for, you know, what is the difference between these two engines, which one do you think I'm more likely to click on? Let's say they have identical graphics, identical titles, almost identical rankings. If I can see that the video length of one is like a minute or two versus one that's like 30 minutes, which one do you think I'm going to click on? Now, a couple of you might be oddballs. Now, there might be the oddball guy that says, I'm really interested in learning all this stuff. I really want to know what the difference is, what the scientific setup is, and, you know, you might want the half-hour one because, you know, you just might be into that. But 99% of people out there want the easy, like 1 to 2 minute answer, and they'll click on the shorter one, not because it's necessarily a better made video, but just because they just want a simple answer. They don't want to know the rest of it, and they know realistically it doesn't take a half hour to explain that. So it kind of goes against what a lot of people think, that they oftentimes think, hey, the more quality info I have, the longer I can make a blog post, or the longer I can make a video, the better I look and the better it is. No, it's almost the exact opposite. The easier job that you do, oftentimes the better it is for both of you. It takes you a lot less time, and the prospects like you a lot more too. And now, at the end of the videos too, you also want to make sure that you know, you don't have to do this, but it can help a great deal. If you ask them to subscribe, like, or share, or even comment, it can help you get more traffic, subscribers, and make more all at the same time, because obviously the more traffic that they send, the better. And YouTube also looks at this stuff for rankings and stuff too. So if they see that your video gets like a lot of likes, or a lot of shares, or even a lot of interaction with, you know, essentially comments and stuff, you know, they tend to not only boost you up in the rankings, but on top of that, they tend to show your videos more oftentimes to more people at the same time. So because they're like, hey, this is a good one, people like this guy, so I'm going to show this video to more people out there, even if they're doing, you know, let's say related searches, or I'll show it as a recommended video after some others, because it seems like a lot of people love this. YouTube looks at that stuff. Just like, you know, on the website side, they look at the interactions and stuff a lot more now too, compared to what they have in the past. So when you go out of your way to ask them to like, subscribe, and share, or, you know, comment, that can help a great deal, versus if you don't ask them, people don't even think about it. But if you ask them, you know, to like or share, or even ask, hey, what are your thoughts, and let me know if you have any questions, or if you like this, any kind of interaction at all can help you know, a great deal right there. So with that, guys, I'm going to pause the screen for a second as I switch on over to the browser, where I'll kind of backtrack to a live demo of the YouTube video trick that I was talking about right here. And I'll also show off a couple of things that I was talking about as well at the same time. So I'm just going to pause the screen for a second. And I'm going to pull up the browser here in just a second. Okay. Alrighty. That up. All right. So first, I'll basically start from the get-go with like a few things that I basically talked about. So let's say before I get into the trick on YouTube, I see there's a couple guys asking if I could do like a demo of like a search and what exactly I look for. So let's say the keyword that you picked in this case was how to hit a better tennis forehand. Okay, you want to do the search in YouTube itself. So, you know, again, we would do that search right to there. And what you then would want to do at that point is you want to, and I just refreshed it really quick right here. You want to make sure that you look for the exact matches in the titles. In this case, you want to look for any title that contains exactly how to hit a better tennis forehand. Now, they might have additional words before or after that, but you want to look for you know, which ones contain that. And as you see right here, you know, there's a close one. This is a close one. There's a few close ones. But it looks like if you're going for that exact keyword right there, you'd be the only one. So that's a good sign that you'd have a good chance of ranking for the exact phrase, how to hit a better tennis forehand. But there's a lot of comparable ones at the same time, like, you know, how to hit the perfect, you know, tennis forehand, you know, the tennis forehand technique, like a bunch of ones like that. So that's one where, you know, that'd be kind of okay. You'd have a good chance of ranking for this term right here, but there seems to be like a lot of additional comparable terms there as well, and not a lot of ones that are too far off from that. So, you know, that I would rank as like a so-so chance right there. So that's one where you certainly could make a video on that. You certainly would have a very good chance of ranking for that keyword phrase right there, but you'd be up against a decent amount of competition for comparable ones. Now, if you found that, let's say, the first half were related to, you know, how to hit a better, you know, forehand and stuff like that, and then you saw some that basically talked about, like, you know, a serve or backhand, or how to hit like this guy or that guy, that would tell you that, you know, it'd be an even better chance of getting, you know, lots of rankings and stuff there. But then the second thing that you want to do is you want to actually look at some of the videos and see what kind of traffic they're actually getting. Now, what you can do is, under essentially the title, you'll see the views and the time that it was posted. So in this case, we see 1/3 of a million views right here. This is in the past 4 months, so not bad. Here's one that's close to 1 million views 5 years back. Yeah, so it looks like right here there's one with 1 million views 6 years back. So it looks like right there, you know, that's not bad. I mean, it's not like a huge market there per se, but you know, basically tennis is probably a slightly smaller niche than some right there, but definitely a lot of possible views. So that tells you, hey, right there, there's a good chance that I could get a lot of views if I got ranked here, because here's one with, again, 1/3 of 1 million views in the past four months right here. So that'd be a good one to possibly go for. Now, what you want to also do then, this is a extra trick that you can do to get you know, even more essentially traffic and stuff, is you can click any of these, and if it has an ad, you want to skip the ad. So I'll just skip that. So just make sure you skip the actual ad first, and then once you get to basically video, you can pause that. And this is the trick that you can do right here. So to siphon traffic from this guy who's ranked towards the very top and getting a decent amount of traffic, which is 2 good things, you want to go to the source or the view source. Now, depending on the browser that you have, it's a little different. If you're not sure how, just do a Google search on how to view source code in whatever browser. In this case, I'm in Chrome, and what I do, I go to View, then I go down to Developer. In most cases, you just go to View and then View Source, but in Chrome, you go to View, then to Developer, then View Source. So again, if you're not sure how to basically do that in your browser, just do a search for, you know, how to view source code in whatever browser you have. Then you click that, and you see a bunch of mumbo jumbo code that you're like, I'm not a coder, I don't know what any of that means. That's okay. The next step, you'll want to go to the edit button, and then find again. So again, depending on the browser you're in, it might be slightly different, but basically you want to go to edit find. And then you'll have a little box that basically shows up right there, and you'll want to literally type in keyword. Now, just to be crystal clear, I do not mean the keyword that you're trying to rank for. I literally mean the word keyword, Keyword. You'll type in that, you'll see a few results, and then usually the first one, if not, you know, just you might have to scroll to basically the second one. You can just click, you know, up or down right here. You'll want to go down where it will have keywords in, you know, like right here. It will highlight that. Then you want to see what actual keywords are right next to that. So you see right here, they have a bunch of additional keywords. So these are the keywords that the person that did the video thinks that they want to rank for. Now, this person seems like they have a ton of different words. Most will have like maybe like, you know, 5 or so. This person has a ton more. What you want to do is you want to look through the keywords that they have, and you know, you can do this for like maybe 2 or 3 videos tops. So like for the same search that I just did, I pick like the top 2 or 3 videos that have the best combination of rankings and traffic. So if there's one with a lot of traffic, but it's ranked at the very bottom, that's okay, as long as it has like a ton of traffic. Whereas if there's one at the very top that has less traffic, that's okay too, because it's ranked at the very top. So I basically can copy and paste these keywords down from like, again, like 2 or 3 videos that you pick. And then you don't want to have all the keywords. Of all the keywords that you just made this list for, pick like 5 to 10 that are similar to the topic of your video, but also showed up on the other videos as well, that still make sense to your video. Like if it does not make any sense, you know, probably don't have the keyword there just to have a keyword. Make sure it makes sense. Like for instance, tennis forehand power lesson probably makes sense, you know, if the video is on how to improve a tennis forehand, or anything like that. And what you then do is when you submit the video, you can add those keywords as your tags. Now, inside of WebFire, we have a tool called Video Firestorm. You just go to it under, I'll show you real quick. It's just under Content, and then Video Firestorm right here. And you can either upload a video of your own and do this, or you can make a video itself. Like it can make basically PowerPoint type slides. But in either case, you can have this right here where you can add in a title, where again, you want to have the main keyword that you're trying to rank for, you want to have it in there. But the trick that I'm talking about right here is the keyword area right here. So of the keyword list that you just made, paste in maybe like 5 to 10 right here, and have a good chunk of those be the ones that you just found right here that are related to yours. So that means when someone watches that video, YouTube will then say, hey, look, it looks like they have some of these keywords in common here. If they just watched this, they might also like this other one because it's on the same topic. So they'll show that. So you'll have a higher chance of having your video shown there. So that's a pretty cool little trick right there that you guys can do with. I mean, again, this takes like maybe like 5 minutes of extra work tops. If you're really quick, you could probably do this in like a couple minutes. And then when you just submit your video, make sure you have the keyword tags right there, and you have a increased chance of your video showing up at the end of that one right there. And then you just again would go back and pick maybe like 2 or 3 of these tops that you want to do that for, and between all of them combined, do like again 5 to 10 keywords. So you don't have to do all of them. Just do like the top ones, like ones that are either ranked well or ones that have a lot of traffic. So that's what you can do right there. Now again, and I'll just go through like another example. So in this case, if you were like, let's say, an affiliate for massage chairs, and you wanted to do a review of a massage chair, you could basically type in a keyword like massage chair review or anything like that. See what's basically out there. And this is like a good way to get some research, see what's there. Like here's one, 55,000 views in 8 months. Obviously not a ton of views, but these chairs go for thousands of dollars. So the affiliate cut can be a lot. And if you think about it in that way, 55,000 views for $3,000 to $7,000 chair, not bad. Even when your cut might be in the hundreds of dollars, in some cases even thousands a piece right there. Or here's one, 4 months, 1.6 million right there. And you see the kind of titles that they have too. And you want to do some research, see what has a good chance of ranking and whatnot. So like massage chair review, you see there's a handful of matches and stuff here. So you'd have like a so chance of ranking, but maybe another word that you might search for is like high-end massage chair. And like here, that says, hey, you'll have a great chance of ranking for that right here. We see there's maybe only one review I see that has that exact phrase, high-end massage chair. And if I add review to it, there might be no one, I'm guessing. Yeah, so that would mean that you'd have a great chance of ranking for that term right there. And you see that there's a decent amount of comparable terms right there. So that might not be a bad one to possibly go for to have as the title of your video and such right there. And then you do the exact same thing. You can go through these. You can do the keyword trick I just showed. See what keywords they're basically attempting to rank for. Like, let's just do the same thing here. We'll skip the ad on this.
Doesn't have to be without the college experience. Visit gcu.edu Indeed, there are two kinds.
All right. So we view source, then go down to edit find, go to keyword, and right here we see the keywords that they're attempting to rank for. Like we see massage chair review, you know, a whole bunch of things like that. So that again gives you an idea of what they're trying to rank for. And again, pick like, you know, a handful of ones that are relevant. Don't pick the ones that aren't to your, you know, video itself. And that will give you a decent chance to show up at the end of those ones right there. So again, basically do keyword research first, then see which ones you have the best chance of actually ranking for on YouTube, where you don't have a ton of competition using the exact phrase, but there's still like a lot of relevant videos on it. And then, you know, do this little trick right here to have, you know, increase your chance of showing up at the end of other, you know, videos and such there, and, you know, make sure then on the videos that you do have, you have a good call to action and stuff like that. And if you do all those combined, you should have a great chance to not only rank well, but to get lots of traffic and increase your chances of making money off that as well at the same time there. So with that, guys, I'll just pause the screen for a second, and we'll see if you have any kind of questions or anything like that, and then in just a second we'll go to we'll do the cash giveaway in a little bit, but first we'll see if you guys have any questions, and with that too, I'll briefly explain how to do the giveaway. So as you guys are typing in your questions, if you join our free Facebook group here, which is again just getwebfire.com/FB group, click join if you're not a member yet. It's free. At the very top, you'll see a post from Sharon basically asking what you thought on today's call. If you leave a comment within that post, so you should see a post from her within the past hour asking what you thought. If you leave a comment within that, we'll pick a random winner where we'll actually do the drawing live in just a few minutes time, and we'll pick a random winner to give $100 cash on the spot over PayPal. So make sure to leave basically a comment saying what you thought of the call, or if you have any suggestions for future calls or anything like that, and we'll get to that in just a second. And in the meantime, I'll just go back to the screen in a second, and I'll pause it as I see what kind of questions you guys have. And Sean, if you've seen any questions that have popped up too, I know you've been answering some. Whether they're related to videos or basically anything at all, it can be anything with marketing or anything else. We're happy to answer that. So Sean, if you've seen any questions, feel free to mention those, and I'll see what you guys are asking as well here.
Okay, great question. I don't know the answer to this. Can you use Hootsuite to schedule the posting of these YouTube videos?
I don't know. I don't use that myself. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm sure if you Googled it, you could probably find an answer.
Okay. Sorry, I've been answering and typing long answers here. Dale says, hey, having a Chrome extension to extract the keywords would be a great benefit. And somebody was asking what updates or things or changes are coming to WebFire. Sure. Well, we've had a handful of updates in the works. One big one, which is we've had a beta version basically done for a while, but we're basically doing a handful of updates to it. We have a way to, instead of analyzing a single web page, we can basically analyze an entire website, even if it has like 1,000 pages at once. And we have a smart way of basically looking at everything as a whole very, very quickly and easily, and basically giving like a full report of that and helping you basically optimize the entire site at the whole time instead of just kind of per page right there. So that's one of them right there.
We also have some work being done on the social poster, and we also have the video Firestorm itself is actually being tweaked a little bit right now too. So those are a handful of things that are being worked on. But yeah, there's always lots of little and big updates and features being worked on at the same time. We also recently, probably within the past couple months, we did a pretty big update on the schema maker tool inside there, where we have basically essentially additional options that you can do to your site with that there. So that's all pretty cool, and we've actually talked about that on a prior call too. But yeah. Anything else?
And that is I think the only one that's not answered. And April said, is the schema update live now?
Yes, that's been live for probably about a month or so, maybe 2.
Okay. Good. Everything else I got answers for.
Cool. All right.
Lots
so
of people saying great training, great tips, love the trick, awesome. Well, in case you haven't had time to read your fan mail there.
All right. So what you'll want to do is, if you go to getwebfire.com/FB group, you'll go to this page right here, which is the free Facebook group. And if you click join, if you're not a member, Sharon will approve you usually within like a minute. We see there's a person that just did it right here. And you'll see the post right here, and you'll want to leave the comment within the post right here, and only comment once, because there's it's not fair to game basically the system there. And if you leave a comment there, we'll pick a winner in a few moments right here. And I'll give you guys maybe another 10 seconds or so to leave a comment there. And of course, we always appreciate likes and shares and all that too. And if you guys have any suggestions on basically feature stuff that you'd like, let us know, because this was actually one that you guys actually suggested. So if there's anything else, just again, let us know, and I'll give you maybe another 10 seconds to leave a post there. So we'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, there's a person writing still. I'll give you like a second or two to wrap it up right there. All right, hurry, whoever someone is right there. Okay, there we go. And, all right, so let me count up. I'll count up the ones outside of it first, just in case, because there's always a few people that post outside. All right. Oh, this time I think everyone posted inside it. This is like the first time that's been done. Awesome. All right, so we have 38 right now. Again, whoever's writing, I'll give you 5. Okay, looks like you just, all right, perfect. So we have, that's weird, it didn't update the number there. Let me refresh that there, because I just saw one basically added. Oh, wow, okay, basically added a bunch more now. That was weird. Good thing I refreshed, because I would have missed a bunch of you there. Now the comments are loading very slowly. So any other questions, Sean, as it slowly loads the comments then?
No, I don't think so. And Sharon just mentioned that Abdul is on there multiple times. So if she notices he's on there multiple times, then we're not going to let somebody win that's, like Brian said, gaming the system. Yeah,
so just make sure that you only leave a single comment there. Just make it fair for everyone. If you want to leave additional ones after the drawing's done, that's great right there. All right, so we have 52 there. I'll count the ones outside first. All right, 1, 2. All right, so there's 2 outside plus 2 outside plus 52, so 54 in total. And the last one, all right, 54 in total. Go to random.org. So you can see it's completely random. 1 to 54. 52.
Oh, that was my guess.
All right.
So starting from the people who are below the bottom, there was what, 2 people below the bottom?
Yeah, so 2, let me just do a double check real quick right there.
Well, there's 52. There's 52 in the box right now. So whoever's number 52 is the winner.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't like a new one that basically popped up right then, so we didn't accidentally count.
So John has already written. Thank you.
So John would be the winner right there.
So if you look like a sailboat, go ahead, say it.
Yep. So if you look like this guy right here, or one of these guys right here, or that's probably, it's hard to tell from the photo, but if you look like one of those 2 and your name's John and you studied electrical engineering in San Diego and you graduated in 1987 and you like sailboats, congratulations. You are $100 richer, or you will be, as soon as you post up your PayPal info to Sharon. So again, congratulations to John Lawrence for being this week's Wednesday Marketing Webinar winner. So just make sure you post up your PayPal email there, and Sharon will get you paid right away today. So with that, Sean, have there been any other questions that have popped up? Well, we basically did that. If not,
I think we're good, ready to roll, on time, rocking and rolling. Let's go out there and take action, folks.
All righty. All right. So once again, thanks for all of you that have showed up here. And if you have any other suggestions, as always, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, as always, with another training on another topic. So with that, guys, have a great rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye.